Hello, welcome back, Startup Thoughts. This is Calvin, your host, and today I'm joined by Hannah, a friend of mine, and then she's an entrepreneur in Zim. She's the founder of Little Something, which is a clothing company for kids. So today I have, as the story goes of Startup Thoughts, we always bring on board people that are changing the world or people that have a passion in adding value in the community that they do live. And from their story, we intend that their stories is going to inspire other entrepreneurs into starting something as well, and for them to do something that they do love. So today I'm joined by Hannah. Welcome, Hannah.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Sure, it's all right. So the first question that I do have today for you is, can you tell me about yourself? What kind of a person are you?
I'd like to say that I'm quite a creative. I like to kind of stick in the realm of artistic things and creating things, and yeah, pretty much that's it. Entrepreneurial, doing my own thing, trying to get my piece into the world.
Okay, fascinating. So what's your key force of the drive that you've resulted into becoming an entrepreneur?
I'd have to say it started with having children, my children, just to make sure that I was able to support them and supply for them, but at the same time, work from home, trying to be with them at the same time. So that's what actually got me going in the first place.
Okay, very interesting. So when did the name something, Little Something came from? How did you came up with the name Little Something?
So I started out just small, just painting baby girls for friends and things like that. And then I decided I really wanted to go into it. So my husband and I, funny enough, were just looking through names and really struggling to find something. And I said to him, we have to have the word little in front of it. And I kept on saying little something, little this, little that. And then eventually I just said, well, little something was going to have to stick. So that's how it came about.
Oh, yeah, surely it does stick. So what's Little Something? What's the story behind it?
It started out, I was actually looking for a gift for a friend of mine, and I was really struggling to find something really personal and homemade for her little unborn, soon to be born child. And then I decided to make something for her, and just through looking around and not being able to find anything really personal, I decided to turn it into a business. And obviously my kids, having my own children, it sparked an interest in the industry as well.
Okay. That's very interesting. So what best motivates you, your entrepreneurship storyline? What best motivates you to become who you are right now? And let's say, talking about it, one day you can never wake up, then you regret the decision that you've made to build Little Something.
What motivates me? I think just, again, going back to the children and showing them that you can be your own boss and that you can be an entrepreneur, and I don't know, just the day-to-day grind, I guess, is the motivation.
Okay. So considering that the industry that you are getting yourself into is clothing industry, you have a lot of competition. Like wherever you go, you find that they happen to become clothes for the kids, and they happen to be just clothes everywhere. What are you doing yourself as an entrepreneur to try to solve, or to try to become your company, to try to become competitive in the market? What's your strategy like?
So I think it's a niche. I think that it's handmade. It's not made in a factory. There's one of a kind, bespoke, And I try to source everything locally. I'd like to try and support the local market. So I advertise myself, or I market myself saying that you're supporting local when you buy from Little Something, basically.
No, okay. So basically everything that you do at Little Something, everything is based on local products.
Definitely. I try my best to stick to that.
Okay. So how do you reach out to local partners? What's the process of the collaboration that you use? Perhaps maybe somebody who might be going crazy of trying to understand how it goes, trying to build trust, and with
So
some
it's actually it's taken me a couple of years to figure it out, just through sifting through people, finding the right people for the right things, outsourcing. It's taken a long time. You just got to go through lots of different suppliers and people to help you, that you just have to go through them and
Sure.
find the ones that are better than others, and stick with that.
Okay, great, great. So what was the toughest moment you have experienced in your business practice, and how did you successfully
Now,
get it over?
lockdown, definitely. We really have really struggled to get through this. There's been a lot of tears and a lot of dull moments, but we have to pick ourselves up anyhow. But it has been hard. It's been hard to try and carry on and to make sure that salaries have been paid and rentals have been paid, whereas we're trying to sell online and it's not as feasible as having the shop, and so that has been really, really tough, especially this January. So I must definitely say this has been the hardest, harder than the startup by far.
But talking about technology and try like what you just said, you mentioned that you have been trying to sell stuff online. What's more or less like the adoption of technology or adoption of e-commerce when it comes to Zimbabwe at large? What's the response more or less like?
So I feel like we're getting there. People are definitely slowly starting to move into the whole social media marketing and the online marketing, which is great. I still think we still have a while to go. Like, for example, I don't have a website. I just decided that I don't think it'll really be worth it, as Zimbabweans aren't really going out looking for websites at the moment, but they're more just the online Facebook, Instagram. My Instagram does very well. It gets a lot of good feedback, and there's some really supportive people on there as well, which is pretty nice.
Okay. Oh, interesting. So what's your hidden inspiration source? How do you generate new ideas? Like, do you like sort of a person that travels a lot, or you see new things, then you're like, okay, yeah, I think this makes sense. I can do this design. Well, what exactly does
So
put you into that
I would say
thinking?
Zimbabwe, local.
Mm-hmm.
Try and keep it local. Obviously, I can spend way too long on Pinterest getting inspiration, but generally the animals, the wildlife that we have here, I love doing that sort of, incorporating that into my products, and yeah, just keeping it local, as I said before.
Okay, but I just have a funny question for you. Are you going to do stuff for people like us, like elderly people, adults?
One day,
Okay.
I would love to. I think I need to move into the 2 to 12 range. At the moment, I'm only doing 2 years, up to 2 years, baby to 2. Then I'd like to do 2 to 12, and definitely a maternity range, because I feel like there's nothing like that in Zim at the moment. A handmade, locally made maternity range. It's hard to find. And then maybe one day, yes, the
Okay.
adult range. Still a
Promise,
while away.
promise that you reach me. You reach me when you actually have something for me.
I shall do. You'll have to keep an eye out on the page.
Sure, definitely, I will. What's your opinion? Like, entrepreneurs born entrepreneurs, or entrepreneurs that are being taught Or what's your opinion when it comes to that statement?
I think some people are born with it, but I also feel like it can, I wouldn't say raised into you. I would say just through life experiences, you could become an entrepreneur. Like certain things may happen and it'll just be, yeah, it'll just come, I think.
Okay.
Through experience, should I say.
All right. So this is a tricky question. Let's say with what you know today, everything that you do know today, up to today about entrepreneurship, and let's say we give you $1,000 today, and then we ask you how you're going to spend it. What exactly are you going to spend it on?
I would probably say about 50% of it on my materials, my raw materials. The 25% definitely on social media marketing, on marketing in general, marketing and advertising. I think that's really important to your business, especially as a startup. You've got to get yourself out there. And then maybe the other 25% on just labor and having people help you do things. I've definitely learned to outsource in the last few years. Don't try and do it all yourself.
Okay. I'm a little bit curious about your hunting of your talent. I've been seeing your page. I've been looking at your stuff. It shows that these are the people with a certain level of caliber, certain level of passion as well, and certain level of charisma. When it comes to, you have a certain aspect of designs that you bring forth into the market. So what exactly is your strategy when it comes to you? Sorry about that. What exactly is your strategy when it comes to you trying to sell out your idea to the people that you hire? What exactly is the strategy that you implement when it comes to talent management?
So basically quality, just make sure that they understand that we are a quality brand. It might be homemade, but it still has to be made properly. So, and to keep up with the times as well, a lot of people that would like to collab with me, I'm very fussy in terms of, is it up to date? Is it what the mums are wanting at this time, you know? So I try and keep up with the times and the fashions and what's happening now, and yeah, it has to be really good quality.
Okay, interesting. So you being a mom and also being an entrepreneur and also being a wife, I happen to see most often, most of my time, that a lot of people, they actually don't actually know how exactly would you be able to balance life as a mom, life as a wife, and life as an entrepreneur. How do you balance it yourself?
It's not easy, and you have to constantly work on it. You have to make sure that your business is cared for as much as your children are cared for, as much as your husband is cared for. So you have to make a conscious effort of totally trying to balance it. I wish I could say keep work hours, but I don't. It all kind of just meshes into one, and my family is very supportive of what I do. So it's easy for me. It's with having that support.
Okay. Okay. Very interesting. So what are your main principles you follow in building your successful customer relations? You do mention that most of your customers, like from your social media platform like Instagram, you generate a bit of some leads. So how do you build your customer successful, like I'm talking about customer retention here, and I'm talking about not somebody just becoming a follower, but someone becoming a buyer. What exactly is the transition that you've built yourself as a business as well?
I would say communication is key.
Okay.
You have to keep everybody informed, communicate with your customers as much as you can. They really appreciate it.
Okay.
And keep honest, keep your quality up, of course. But yeah, I would base that on communication.
Amazing. So what are your main principles you follow in building sorry. What is one issue that your life experience you would alter if you had a chance to? Like the whole of your life as an entrepreneur?
I wouldn't change anything. Everything, all the hardships, all the good, everything has brought me to where I am today. And I wouldn't be the entrepreneur that I am if it was any different. So I would say nothing. I would not change anything.
Wow. Wow, that's very interesting. So what do you think are the three main reasons why entrepreneurs fail?
That's a tough one. I'd say maybe lack of confidence. You've got to you've got to persevere. I think as well support. Like I said earlier, you need to have a good support network and somebody on your side backing you up and making sure that you keep going.
Okay. All right, interesting. So now I'm about to ask you my last question. But before I ask you my last question, I would like to ask something very intriguing about you. I'm pretty sure where's your shop, like your store?
It's into the PT 167 Enterprise Road.
Okay, yes, yes. I wasn't so sure if I could make that one correct. So I wanted to ask the question that is related to your niche. How do you funnel up your niche using, like, saying social media and using those platforms that you use for marketing? How do you funnel out? Then you're like, okay, this is now my target niche that I'm supposed to target. Is it the proximity of your location, or is the way that you communicate to the people, or you already have a community of people before you establish yourself? How did it go?
So I wasn't always there. I had started on social media, and then I slowly branched into small shops that were already established, that sold other baby items. So I kind of got a following through there. And then, so by the time I started in my own store, I'd already had quite a following. And then my social media as well. And then as well, my location, I really like the complex that I'm in, and it's really artistic, and there's a lot of the same kind of people around me, and the same kind of stores. So it is a draw as well for customers.
Okay. Oh yeah, that was very interesting talking to you, Hannah. So my final question is, I need to hear your final thoughts as startup. What exactly would you say to an inspiring entrepreneur out there? What's your words of motivation that would say to them?
I would say do not give up. Persevere. Just keep going. No matter how tough it gets, it takes a long time to get to where you want to be. So don't just give up, and just keep going, keep pushing, keep fighting, and you'll make it.
Okay. Oh, thank you so much for your wonderful time. Thank you for.
No problem. Thank you so much.
Okay, sure. I'm so humbled to be